Alright, Neets, Module 6, Chapter 3, Summary. In this chapter, we have presented the basic description of theory, operation, basic power supply, and the component of the following summary should enhance your understanding of power supplies. Power supplies are electronic circuits designed to convert AC to DC to desired level. Almost all powers are composed of four-section transformer, rectifier, filter, regulator. So the transformer, rectifier, filter, regulator. Power transformer is input transformer personally power supply. In addition, with a high voltage power transformer supplies filament voltage. Rectifier, the section of power supply with a cane secondary windings for the power transformer of the rectifier circuit. The rectifier's ability with the diode to conduct during the half cycle of the AC to convert AC to DC. Halfway rectifier gives the output with only one half cycle of the AC. For this reason, the impulse of the DC is separated with a period of one half cycle to zero potential. Full wave rectifier conducts both halves and the input AC cycle. The result of the DC are separated for each other. The characteristics of full wave rectifier use the center tap to higher voltage secondary. Because the center tap, the output of the rectifier is limited to one half of the input voltage with a high voltage secondary. Bridge rectifier, full wave rectifier does not use the center tap high voltage secondary because the DC output voltage is equal to the input voltage and the high voltage of the secondary of the power transformer. Ability rectifiers use four diodes connect with the bridge network, and the two conduct the diagonal pair to give the full wave pulsating DC output. Filter circuits are designed to smooth and filter the ripple voltage present in the pulsating DC output rectifier that is done by the electronic device that has the ability to store energy to release stored energy. Capacitation circuit filters. Nothing more than large capacitors placed across the output of the rectifier section. Because of the large stars of the capacitor, faster charge past the load, discharge past the capacitor will charge an average value will keep pulsating DC output from reaching 0 volts. Are there fast charge and slow discharge timing? Inductor filters. An inductor called the choke filter the pulsating DC input because of the impedance offered with the circuit current. The output filter is lower the amplitude of the input. Pi type filters use the capacitive inductor filters connected to the pi type configuration because of the combination of filter devices. Ability to pi type filters of ripple the voltage supply superior to either the capacitance and induction filters. Voltage regulators are circuits that are designed to maintain output with the power supplies and constant amplitude despite variation. AC source voltage change of the resistance of the load. This is done with the creating a voltage divider resistive element with the regulator resistance for the load. Regulations achieve the varying resistance of the resistant element in the regulator. Series regulator, uses a variable resistance in series of load. Regulation is achieved by varying the resistance, either increasing or decreasing the voltage drop across the resistant element in the regulator. The characteristic of the resistance of the variable resistance moves the same direction as the load. The variable resistance of the increases, the variable resistance of the load irregular increases the load resistance, decreases the variable resistance of the regulator decreases. Your shunt regulators, usable variable resistors, resistance placed in the panel with a load regulations achieved to keep the resistance and the load constant. Characteristic of the resistance is shunt moves the opposite direction of resistance of the load. Your BR2 regulators, shunt regulators, use the old cathode variable resistance on parallel load because of the ability to maintain constant voltage potential between the plates and load tubes that can be connected to series to regulate any voltage. Additional load tubes can be used to deliver different voltages to different loads. Simple electron tube and regulator. Each DC plate resistant to triode variable the resistance share of the load. The resistant vacuum tube vary with the changing of the amount with the conduction of the tube. This is done by holding the control grid voltage at a constant level and allowing the cold cathode voltage to vary output with the output voltage. The amperite voltage regulator ballast tube is normally used for the control of the current surge. This is done by heating the iron wire hydrogen and fill the envelope. The hot iron will present large resistance in the current flow. And that was your chapter 3 summary, and that's the rest of the book, unless you want to go over the glossary index and the assignments. But as read, this has been a reading of the Navy Electricity Electronic Training Series, Module 6, Introduction to Electronic Emission Tubes and Power Supplies.